assuming most of you watching this video have completed the Modern Warfare campaign, certain Simon Ghost Riley is going to make an appearance in the next Modern Warfare game. But what if I told you that Simon Ghost Riley was in Modern Warfare through the entire campaign, and that Infinity Ward has well and truly fooled us all, as there is evidence to suggest that Alex is indeed Simon Ghost Riley. I'm going to prove it to you today in this video. First and foremost, this is just a theory. And being specific, this is a game theory. With any good game theory, there is evidence to support it. So be sure to sit back, get comfy, and enjoy a roller coaster which is going to blow your mind. Or at least I'd like to think it will. But if you agree, if you disagree, please watch the entire video throughout before you put your thoughts down below. But I highly encourage any ideas and thoughts you have to drop it down in the comments below. If you finish this video enjoying it, please drop a like before you click off. It would be absolutely amazing of you. Now, by all means, this isn't an original theory idea. I believe the first person to put a video out talking about this was the Gaming Revolution, so big credit to him for putting it out there, as I've seen a lot of people talk about this theory and I'd love to throw my 2 cents in. Here is my take on why Simon Ghost Riley is 100% Alex in Modern Warfare. And your first point against this theory is that Alex died at the end of the final mission. As we see it play out, Alex and Farah reach the furnace, and then Alex tells Farah that the detonator has malfunctioned, and that they have to sacrifice themselves to blow up the factory. Alex and Farah argue who's planting the charge and who's blowing it, and Farah initially volunteers to plant the charge, with Alex then arguing that she can't do both the factory and killing Barkov. And the sole belief that's charging him to make this decision to be the sacrifice, his entire life has been dedicated to following orders. Weren't orders which he necessarily believed in, but it was orders he had to obey. But this was a decision that he felt was right. Then we cut to the ending where Farah kills Barkov. The plan to destroy the factory is set in motion. With all charges set, Alex detonates the bomb, destroying the factory. Final words to Farah being,
Alex,
I'm not getting out of here. Let's do this.
For anyone that's ever played Modern Warfare 2, you will know that the words "let's do this" is Ghost's signature catchphrase.
Let's do this.
There are a lot more references than just that, which we're going to get into, but a small detail is when the factory is getting blown up, you don't actually see Alex whatsoever. If you pay attention to that final cutscene, you will notice that it is Alex who mentions the detonator has malfunctioned, not Farah. And for someone who's followed orders his entire life, why would he choose to sacrifice himself when this very moment is the chance for him to finally live a life where he doesn't have to follow orders? I feel the same philosophy that Treyarch has with zombies maps can be applied here with this ending, and that just because you didn't physically see something happen doesn't mean it didn't. So we have no idea on time frame from the ending to that final cutscene with Laswell and Price. Now, why would Alex want to make it seem like he's just sacrificed himself? Like I mentioned to you, his entire life he's been nothing but an assignment. He was an operations officer in the CIA Special Activities Division responsible for high-threat covert missions. 6 years before the events of Modern Warfare, he sacrificed his contact and association with family to join the Special Activities Division, where, like I said earlier, he spent the last 6 years living a series of assumed identities to achieve sensitive objectives wherever he is needed. Unlike all the other characters in the Modern Warfare campaign, Alex is simply called Alex. Doesn't have a second name, he's just called Alex. And for all we know, this could be one of the many assumed identities that he has given himself to keep his real identity secret. With that being said, why would he want to make it seem like he sacrificed himself? Well, living his entire life as an assignment has never given him anything which he truly cares about and what he really believes in. Let's not forget one of the biggest plot points as well with Alex is that he completely abandons his position as a CIA member to go fight in Urzikstan, which is an absolute big betrayal to the CIA and something which he'd probably get exiled for, so it makes complete sense for him to want to change his identity. His relationship with Farah and Captain Price made him realize working alongside these people is exactly what he believes in. What would a better way be to leave the CIA is to fake your own death, become a new identity, and join Task Force 141. I know what you're thinking, this makes some sense, but Simon Ghost Riley in Modern Warfare 2 was British, not American, and he had an entirely different backstory as to why he wore the ghost mask. I agree with you here, but we need to remember that Modern Warfare 2019 is a reboot of the Modern Warfare universe. There are some similarities, but there's also completely new ways that they can take this. It's more believable that Alex did stay in the factory during the explosion rather than running away, as I don't think it would have been possible to leave in time. I feel there's a great chance that he survived that. Now, how could Alex wear the infamous ghost mask? Well, a great explanation could be that during the factory explosion, Alex suffered a lot of damage to his face. Face could be badly burned, which is the sole reason why he puts on the ghost mask. Now, I know that pales in comparison to the reason why Simon Riley wears the ghost mask in the original trilogy. It's any plausible conclusion you can come to based on the ending. But there's a lot of things in Ghost's backstory which don't quite line up with Alex's character, which I can understand for people that want to disagree on this. Ghost has a history of being in the ex-SAS. Alex's backstory is only in the US Army Delta Force before being part of the Special Activities Division and CIA. Since Modern Warfare 2019 is a reboot, Ghost's backstory could also have changed. Like I said, there's many other bits of evidence to suggest that Alex is indeed Ghost. The first being, if you look at the patch on Alex's shoulder, it appears to be a slightly modified Task Force 141 patch. And you can notice this detail on him from the very first time he meets Farah in the 3rd campaign mission. The coincidental parallel that one of Alex's first lines at the beginning of the campaign is also one of Price's last.
I'm listening, Alex.
This is classified. It's classified.
Another huge detail is Alex's death is like completely overlooked. No one's sad, no one's crying, there's literally no reaction to Alex dying. No one on that team at all is concerned that this man just sacrificed himself. Actually, no one's screaming, no one's crying, he literally just said, alright, I'm out, let's do this. And that's it. In other COD campaigns, there's been actual funerals for characters that died in the campaign, but Alex was such an important character and they just completely brushed it off. Literally no one batted an eyelid at this man's sacrifice, even though he spent almost the entire game working with them. If that doesn't already seem obvious, then I don't know what is. Furthermore, there is a conversation Alex and Farah have at the start of the highway mission where he's telling her a joke that seems to fly over her head completely. I think the writing here is very specifically done in a way where you're not going to really notice it unless you really think about it. So here it is.
Tell me a joke.
What happens when the CIA goes to sleep?
What?
They go undercover.
Not bad.
Probably better in English.
You told it in English.
Now, if you don't realize what's just happened here, Alex has more or less just told Farah his foreshadowing. And the Joker's literally talking about himself and what he plans to do, as he is a CIA agent. With the ending, we think he sacrifices himself, which he might put in words as going to sleep. And with him faking his own death to the CIA, he will become an undercover agent. And by undercover agent, we mean a brand new identity, which could very well be Simon Ghost Riley. Now, why do you think Farah said it's probably better in English? At first, you'd instantly conclude that her line is almost a joke in itself, saying that it wasn't very funny, and maybe if you told it in English, it'd be funnier. But what if this was a double-ended meaning here, not only inferring that joke, but also inferring to the original identity of Simon Ghost Riley, who of course was British, he was English. This could be a subtle reference that Simon Ghost Riley's voice in the next game is actually going to be much closer to the original in terms of it being a British English voice. It could just be a joke because Alex can speak multiple languages, and she probably didn't realize that he was just speaking English at that time, but it's definitely a good bit of food for thought. Let's not forget the plot twist with the writing in that final ending as well, where Laswell mentions that they already have loose ends. And what iconic mission did General Shepard betray Ghost and Roach by killing them point blank in the face was a campaign mission called Loose Ends. Even in the final moments of the end credits, where you have the iconic photograph of the characters, you see Alex there in the back wearing the signature headset with microphone, which was part of Ghost's signature look, wearing them over his ghost mask. The coincidence just keeps lining up. You have to remember that this is a soft reboot of the Modern Warfare universe, so all prior pasts and histories of characters can be completely rewritten and changed. And I think a really cool plot twist, which we could have in the next game, is the fact that we don't actually know Alex's real name. Like I mentioned earlier, he has multiple identities, and within the campaign, when you see his name loading up as well as the mission name, his name is in speech marks, like as if to suggest that's just the name he's been given in this game. Of course, that's not its actual real name. And I think it would be super awesome is in the next game, it is revealed that Alex has always been a ghost and that his real name is actually Simon Riley. The way Captain Price chuckles before he shows Laswell the file for Simon Riley obviously indicates that there is something about Simon Riley that Laswell doesn't know yet. From her reaction to it, she clearly doesn't know who Simon Riley is. And there's no picture, which obviously we would assume because Simon Ghost Riley never reveals his true identity in Modern Warfare, he's always wearing the mask. But a perfectly good reason why there would be no picture if this was indeed Alex is that near the end of the campaign, suddenly Alex, Farah and her army are put on a foreign terror organization list, meaning that the world is after them. Captain Price is furious at the Corporal Norris for this decision, as obviously naturally he'd want to protect his friends. And if he can keep Alex alive, then having a new identity and no picture means he's no longer on that list. But that's just a theory. A game theory. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section if you agreed or disagreed with this theory. We could all be fools and in the next game Alex is well and truly dead, but there's enough evidence here and just general shame if he was to be gone from the rest of the story forever because he was a big character in Modern Warfare. It's obvious that they're trying to build a new rebooted trilogy and it wouldn't make sense for him to not come back seeing as he played such a key role. I'd love to know all your thoughts down below in the comment section. Again, if your mind was blown, please let me know by dropping a like rating and subscribing for more Modern Warfare content. You can check out the playlist link down below for more videos like this, and I'll catch you in the next one.